Hello and welcome to the Oracle Podcast, the podcast that informs you on various topics of pop culture. Today we are joined by Audubon's one and only Eric Rossi. May this be a spectacular episode as always. Alright Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
That's good to hear. I mean, it's, we're both graphics majors, so
yes, we are.
We know the grind at Camden County.
We know the grind. We out here at Camden County, young graphic designers in the world.
Graphic design is my passion.
Graphic design is my passion. You could say that.
Yeah, of course. I'm your host, Brendan Ryder. Majoring in computer graphics. Plan on transferring to Rowan. I'm from Audubon. You know how it is. Eric, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Eric Rossi. I'm also a graphic design major at Camden County, and computer graphics major, but going into graphic design. And we just both work, both students,
both getting that bread.
Yeah, both procuring the bread and the bag, metaphorically. But yeah, we're also, we have hobbies, we have interests. It's nice.
Yeah, we're both really into music. That's definitely one thing we both, are into very much. I mean, next to me right now is actually a set of vinyl. So, Eric is also a vinyl collector too. So.
We're both very quirky vinyl people,
yeah,
you could say.
Yeah, I guess.
But I wouldn't call us maybe collectors, so to speak. We just kind of own vinyls. I hate to sound pretentious to say that I'm a vinyl collector.
Yeah, you're right. It's my favorite way of supporting the artist. Besides,
that's true. Because I only really buy vinyls of albums that I really, really like.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. I'm really peculiar about what shirt I wear. So as much as I would love to buy their shirt, sometimes I'm just not really down with the.
Yeah, if you don't like the design of the shirt, you maybe won't wear it. But sometimes it's easier just to own the album if you want to support the artist, because the clothing or the merchandise is maybe not your style or not something you're into. But you can always just purchase the album that way. And we're in an age now where you can stream pretty much anything you want at any point in time. So owning music is kind of obsolete, so it's more of a symbolic gesture of supporting the artist now.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. As I was saying, I'm especially since I'm really peculiar about my what I buy with shirts. So it's as much as I would love to, sometimes especially when you're into different types of music than other people, you don't want to just be out there wearing these shirts. As much as that, I guess that just, ties in with my insecurity that I just don't want to, sometimes reveal who I like. So, it sucks that I might not like design, or I just don't want to wear the shirt openly. True. So, just having the vinyl at home, makes it definitely, you have it. No one else really needs to know unless you want to show them.
True.
So it's it's a good way. I mean, for one example is that my Mindless Self-Indulgence record. I absolutely love them. It's probably one of my all-time favorite bands. But a lot of their shirts are just a bit too edgy for me. And
yeah, no, that's a common problem with I think a lot of modern day artists is sometimes their merchandise is either too over the top or just lacking entirely. On the opposite end of the spectrum, I really, really hate t-shirts that are just JPEGs of album covers, because it seems really stupid.
It just seems like they just threw it on Redbubble.
Exactly. That's exactly. I could just make that on Redbubble and make it myself.
That's why I definitely appreciate Mom Jeans. Because they always change it every time they tour.
Certain artists, they always have different merchandise, and it's not always. Exactly. Flatbush Zombies. Each one of their shirts is a hand tie-dyed batch that's limited to 500 each, and they release every 2 weeks, and they never restock, and it's a cult following thing if you own different tees from different eras. And
it really symbolizes.
It symbolizes their era and their culture, and it's really cool. And it's rather than just oh, we put the newest album on a black tee and sold it. Like, that's stupid. But sometimes, like you're saying, yeah, I hate buying T-shirts that are like, I hate having to buy T-shirts that I don't actually like because I want to support the artist. So it's easier to just own a vinyl, and like I can just listen to it when I want to. And I also own it as like a symbolic thing, just supporting them, which is cool.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, the whole thing with like showing what era kind of ties in with like my favorite concert shirt, which is my the Mom Jeans shirt that I got recently at the concert, because the really cool thing about it is that like it shows on the back, like, you know, their two first albums that they only have at the moment, like drawn poorly. But like, I mean, it's the aesthetic of it that, I mean, of course,
yeah, that's the point of the shirt.
But like the cool thing is that like there's a third spot next to it where a third vinyl is supposed to be with a question mark, which, you know, like if they do come out with an album like this year in 2020, that means I had the shirt before that to like really show like when I got it. So it's really cool to have. So
it's just like the Flatbush tees that have the lyrics from current mixtapes and the year like stamped on them, because like they print the date and stuff. It's really cool. And seeing like the timeline of events on the back, it's like you can tell like, oh, it's from that time. It's like you were there at that time, you could only get it then, because nobody really buys back, like nobody goes back and buys stuff from that era really.
Yeah,
so it's cool.
So it's definitely you know, a cool memento to have. But you know, on the subject of music, who would you say like is you know, one of your biggest inspirations, or just favorites in general?
Well, one of my personal favorites, and of course my number one Spotify artist 3 years in a row, is Kanye West. An unconventional pick for somebody maybe of my background, I don't know. Yeah. But certainly wasn't somebody I grew up listening to, or even listened to in like my early high school years. I didn't really quote unquote discover Kanye West until I was in like junior year of high school. And I didn't even really like him at first. I just knew like 2 songs. But as I went on, I heard just more people saying like, you should listen to Kanye West, and you should do this, and you should do that. And it's like, oh, maybe I should. And I started listening. I was like, this isn't at all what I expected from what I've heard of Kanye West. If you just know of him in the media or hear of him on the streets.
I mean, he definitely has like a, you know, a reputation.
You know, he's a reputation. He has a rapper presence, and then you hear his music, and it's,
George Bush does not like.
Yeah, George Bush doesn't care about black people, as that famous quote. But he has like a rapper presence. He's a rapper. That's what he's known as. But his music is not what I would ever call rap music.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not putting him on a pedestal. I'm not saying he's the greatest artist of all time or anything. It's certainly not that. I don't think me being a Kanye fan makes me better than anyone else. It's just, I really like his music a lot. I think it's extremely well made. It's very pretty, and it's pretty unconventional in most fashions, while still kind of being mainstream, which is really weird. Not many other artists pull that off. Like a Kanye album comes out and like a lot of people will listen to it, like anybody almost, and it's like a big thing. But like, it's mainstream music that does not have a mainstream sound. It's a weird like take, but like a lot of people who listen to music have listened to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but it's not at all what I would call a conventional album. It makes no sense. It has no genre.
Yeah.
I cannot put a single genre in that album. And it is so strange, but it's like, it's a beautiful album.
Would you
it's an entire universe.
Would you compare that to like current like Tyler the Creator? I mean, like, I know there was like a not a controversy, but
there's
a statement, statement controversy. I mean, at the recent Grammys.
I would compare it to that in the sense that of it being genreless.
Yeah, because I mean, he won for rap, and he didn't like that.
Right? Yeah, Tyler the Creator was mad because he won for rap, and he wasn't necessarily mad because he won for rap.
He won for rap. It was just he was listed like purely under.
He said, "This is a pop album, and I'm a pop star at this point, or a rock star. You could really compare him to that too. But since he is a young black kid, now he's not a kid, but since he is young and black, they just throw him into the rap category, which isn't obviously right at all. But especially, I mean, if you listen to that album, it's certainly not a rap album.
Yeah.
Maybe he raps occasionally, but it's not a rap album in the slightest. But he was upset about that, rightfully so. But I would compare that album I would compare those two albums together from the standpoint of them only being genreless, but like Tyler, the Creator's album, I really wouldn't put on par with that or anything.
Yeah, no, just more of I was comparing more to this statement of how like both of them are kind of like they don't want to just be under rap. They they like to experiment with
they both like to improv on genres, so to speak. I mean, music today is like really changing and shifting, and there really isn't too many genres anymore. The boundaries are disappearing, and it's cool because it relates to a lot of new stuff. And I mean, if you have songs that contain Paul McCartney and Kanye West, or what's the other one? A$AP Rocky and Rick Springfield, I think. It's just weird. Like, who would put these two people in a room? It's so strange, and it works so well, but it's not anything we ever would have expected.
Yeah, no, I can definitely feel like the tone changing in music. I mean, like it's I feel like every decade, it's like not even decade, you can say half a decade, like music is like goes through some kind of change in terms of popularity. Like pop music is what is considered pop music anymore. A lot of people defined it as like a happy feel good song, especially back with the late 2000s and early 2010s even. It was like people like Carly Rae Jepsen and LMFAO.
Yeah.
They were, quick fact
Party
about,
rockers in the house tonight.
I mean, quick fact about LMFAO. Red Foo and Sky Blue. They're actually, one is the uncle and one is his nephew.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, like they're completely.
I didn't know LMFAO was related.
Yeah, no, they're
cool.
the one's the uncle and the one's the nephew.
That's pretty sick.
But yeah, back to the topic. Yeah, I mean, like with
Are
that.
they gonna drop an album or something soon?
No, they're on a definite hiatus at the moment. I mean, of course they could be coming back, but like
I thought I heard like a rumor that they were coming back or something.
I mean, they especially. I mean, I'm surprised.
Why did they go on hiatus?
They apparently, I think the uncle was leaving. Again, I forget which one.
He just had too much party rock.
There was too much party rock. He was apparently leaving the one out of the loop too much. So they started getting arguments. I mean, I guess like especially not good that like out of nowhere they like skyrocketed into fame. I mean, I'm sure they didn't assume that Party Rock would be this big of a hit. I mean, because
we all just bumped Party Rock.
It just really came out of nowhere. I mean, like personally, it's weird, but I knew them before Party Rock because of the song Yes, and I mean, of course, everyone knows the famous song Shots. That was also a big one before their big hit, but they were considered on a smaller level in terms of popularity. They had like two decent popular songs. I mean, only one. It was only Shots because it was featured by Lil Jon.
Yeah.
So
the first one I heard was "I'm Sexy and I Know It."
Yeah.
Like, why did they make that?
I mean, like they started for
really
Party
broke
Rock.
Boundaries.
What a generational talent.
Broken
At the end of 2,999, we'll be talking about who the best artists of the thousands.
Anyway.
But yeah, back on topic. It is good to know that music is changing, and like what is considered like the norm anymore. Because it's like I mean, of course, like it's always been changing, but I feel like people are definitely more open-minded than it was like 10 years ago to what people listen to. I mean, I think that's more true with the older generation, or not older generation, but like Gen Z and millennials, because I mean, of course, when kids are young and middle school and high school, there's usually like that like there's a huge like this conflicting like two sides of like what people consider like pop at the time and like rap and like whatever it is versus like the more edgier side. I would say are really two conflicting things.
Usually people who describe like mainstream music is mainly described as like pop and rap, and people like to have dissenting opinions and hate pop and rap because they're popular.
Yeah, they become like
and that's why I think there's a lot to be appreciated in both of those genres. Like I think really honestly, like rap is probably my most listened to genre, but like there's probably more to be appreciated in pop sometimes that people really just kind of sleep on. Like nobody really appreciates pop anymore because they're like, it's mainstream, ha ha ha.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's getting it's pretty funny seeing this.
But there's like underground pop that's like really good, like Waze Blood and like you could call Crumb pop, I guess. You could also call what else was I listening to? There's like it's just really pretty. Like you can have pretty music that's pop. Like Earthquake. Like
I mean Bowen even. Bowen, I think it's considered pop.
Porter Robinson to a degree. There's definitely some pop influence. What's the other? I was listening to something like literally the other day. I cannot remember.
You can even consider Glass Animals to a certain extent. You see, the
entirely.
whole thing. I think the main thing at the moment is that like there's so many subgenres now. Like it's insane. Like I don't like no one. I don't think can be considered one thing anymore because of the amount of like subgenres. Like I think Bowen is considered like some like bubble pop or like some obscure like that. I mean, albeit like Bowen's sound is completely different, and the normal person that just listens to the radio is not gonna think it like My Time and Every Day is gonna be like this, like, oh, what the hell is this, like, how is this pop?
Yeah,
but like
just because it's pop music doesn't mean it's meant to be consumed by the masses.
Yeah,
but doesn't make it not good pop music.
I mean, music is art, like it's really
it's all subjective.
I mean, in this case, it's beholder of the ears rather than the eyes.
Yeah, beauty is in the ear of the beholder.
Beauty is in the hole. I mean, like for me personally, I definitely I gravitate more to the norm. I would say. I guess I appreciate the like people trying new things, and I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, like that's definitely a part of my taste. I wouldn't say that's it because I mean, like probably my all-time favorite is going to be Gorillaz. I mean, they're very different, but by no means. Popular. Yeah, by no means are they like trying to like a completely different sound. They change up their sound, but they gravitate to like punk.
Yeah, they're nothing truly
rap, and then
they're not like
something
just
obscure.
Ridiculously obscure or revolutionary.
Yeah,
they're just pretty like solid.
They're solid all around, and they I mean like their whole concept of a virtual band is always fun too to go at it. But their change like their slightly ever changing sound is always refreshing. Except past 2 albums, a lot of people think it was a bit too much of a change. I can agree. I mean, especially with Humans in this case, like a lot of people say there is no Gorilla sounds, but there really is. There is a Gorilla sound as much someone does not want to admit it. And I mean, especially in the case that like the majority of the songs, the lead singer was only like featured like in like 5-10 second intervals for the entire song, so it sounded more like SoundCloud rappers featuring the Gorillaz. And like you see, the thing I haven't said though is that it's not a bad album by no means. And there's a lot of good songs in there that I enjoy on my free time. Like Strobe Light, that doesn't have a single lyric by the Gorillaz. It's only instrumental by it. There's the Apprentice that like barely has it. The Ascension featuring Vince Staples. He only had a 10-second part. But it's good. It's still good, but like especially after like I don't know, I think it was like 7 years of having no albums. It was kind of disappointing because I was after Plastic Beach being such a beautiful album, it really was a challenge, and I mean it was really political.
Mediocre albums after hiatuses are not
Yeah.
fun at all.
It's definitely, you're playing with fire.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, it's really, I know a lot of people actually, like, just,
Some
like,
people.
a lot of people, like, just, I mean, some people just, like, just change, I mean, not changed, but, like, they just stopped listening to Gorillaz because they were so, like, unimpressed.
Like, how could you do this to me?
Like, they were just unimpressed with the new album.
Yeah, no, it happens. It certainly happens.
They lost them, but like they're trying a new album at the moment, or it could be a new album, but like a new song released recently, and it really sounded like the combination of the first couple albums, and it was like definitely really refreshing here. I already love it. I showed it to some people that lost interest. That lost interest because of the two albums. They're like, wow, I actually think I will listen to the album if it releases. So yeah, we'll see about that.
We certainly shall.
But other from that, I think to finish it off, I would probably say my other favorite. I mean, favorite overall, as just an artist as a whole, I would say Jack Stauber, just because he's like this. He's so talented. He's so young.
Oh yeah, that's pop too.
That's
literally pop.
That's literally pop. He's like, I think he's like he's in his mid-20s, I think, and he already knows how to do clay. He already has claymation down. He has 2D animation down. Yeah, it's just producing in general.
Yeah, he does everything.
He does video editing, directing, everything, and it's all good. Like, it's insane that like this guy alone, literally alone, last year, I think it was something like he released something once every 3 weeks, like something insane, and that's really nuts to think about for having a new original song each and every time, new original animation, all the editing, all done by himself. And he did this.
Insane.
He did this
really
while he literally made bumpers for Adult Swim in the middle of this.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see that because he's getting paid, and I like how he's from Pennsylvania. I really hope that does a local show again, because he hasn't done that in like 2017. Actually, one of his only shows that he did got rained out, so he took the show and brought it into Burger King, where only like 20 people sat down and watched.
Perfect.
It's you can find it on
Jack
YouTube.
Stauber Burger King show.
It really is. That's literally what happened. I wish I saw that. I meant like.
You'd have been so lucky. You'd have been so lucky.
I know that whoever did that, I wish I was them. That's insane. Like, imagine seeing your favorite. What if Kanye was just like Kanye before he got big was like, hey guys, my show got rained out. Let's go to Chick-fil-A, and then he sings and then he sings Stronger in there, and then Daft Punk comes out.
Jesus walks in the middle of like Sonic.
Yeah, just like something really obscure like that. I don't know, like that would be a dream come true.
Pink Polo Kanye era.
Yeah, but with that being said, I appreciate coming on and talking about music. I hope we can do this again soon.
Glad to always come on and talk. It's always been a pleasure.
All right, that's great. All right. And with that said, that concludes today's episode of the Oracle Podcast. If you like what you hear, then we'd be very much appreciative if you subscribe to us and continue to listen to our content. We upload every so often. The next episode will be equally, if not greater, by our very next guest. Who will it be? A musician? An animator? Who knows? All we know is that it will be someone great. As always, I'm your host, Brendan Ryder, otherwise known as Narcotic Vibe. And until next time, a good fortune come your way, good night, good morning, or good afternoon.